Hey guys, thanks for checking out the Bucked Up Podcast. If you wouldn't mind just hitting the subscribe button, like, sharing the video, we have new episodes coming out every Monday and Thursday. Enjoy.
It was at this moment that he knew.
He bucked up.
Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you.
Is this like a Nardwar thing where you're gonna be like, "Hey, I found it."
Everyone does say Nardwar. Literally everyone that has said I'm Nardwar. I don't know. This started out as a self-help podcast with comedians, and then I started getting Hologram was the I think second rapper to ever come on the podcast. Shout out Hologram.
Peace to Hologram, right? Got that American cheese.
Yeah, and I can't. I interviewed him like a year and a half ago, and he was like, "Yeah, American cheese is coming out in July," and he meant July of last year. It's finally coming, and then it just kind of steamrolled into where I'm at now.
Right.
I didn't expect.
It's been quite the ride, though, man. I didn't know what to expect from this. I was like, well. At the very least, he wears Griselda shirts, so
that's at the very least.
Yeah, right?
How long have you been sitting on that American cheese art? Because that album has been at least in production for so long.
Not long at all, honestly. Muggs hit me up recently about that. I want to say a couple months back now, maybe 2 or 3. You know, he's well, I don't know, but from what you see on social media, he's meticulous. He plans out for the long run, you know. Yeah. So there's covers that are in the works now that, you know, we don't plan to see for a while. So things like that, I'm pretty sure go on as well on the music side with them. You know, I'm pretty sure they recorded all this material long ago, and you know,
yeah,
waiting for the time to be right. So.
This is Hologram's first project ever. Like, he's never released a full-length project, so it's kind of crazy.
Right.
But when I saw you...
From what I heard on the album, it's pretty tough.
I'm excited.
Some gems on there.
It was just total... I don't know. I've had a few times where, kind of like you, I don't know why people agree to do... Like, Hologram came on when I had no one on the podcast yet, and just agreed to do it, and it has been, really off of the support of others. I just had Lord NMF on 2 days ago. Shout out to brother.
Man, that's the dude right there, man.
He's a great dude. And
I don't know what it is about him, but just his energy is just feel good energy, bro. He's a good dude, man.
For real, I had such a good conversation with him. But he was talking about how whenever he needed guidance and shit, you would help him out, and you would, if he had a question, he could come to you. And that's kind of what this whole thing has. I mean, you kind of started a whole fucking thing that is all about support. And that's kind of why, I don't know.
Right. Well, I didn't do that shit intentionally. You know what I mean? You know,
yeah.
You know, I came out the gate swinging with different attempts for different artists, and not everybody got it or understood it from the beginning. You know, I think the blessing in disguise was Sean Price, you know, and then just snowballed from there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I'm on the mentor level that these guys, you know, put me at, you know, but you know, if they got a question or something that I could help with, of course, you know, happily oblige and try to see where I could find a clearer path if they're confused about their own, you know.
Yeah.
But as far as being planned to be that way, and never it just so happens. I'm just an old motherfucker. That's all.
When did the Sean P thing happen? Because, you know, probably most people, you got the recognition 2016 with Fly God and everything. But when was Sean P?
Sean P was 2011, 2012, around the release of Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
When that was getting ready to come out, you know, I was pretty much just spearheading fan art, sending it to him, and it was pretty much being ignored for a while. You know, like he's a very mercurial personality. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you never know what kind of mood he be in or whatever and shit. And shout outs to Dallas Penn. It was because of Dallas Penn's acknowledgement of my art that he finally, you know. So I was like, "Hey, where'd you get that shit?" And he's like, hey, "Dude, he's been sending you shit, you know, like, you know what I mean? Just open your fucking email, bro."
How long
And,
were you doing it before that? Like, how long were you sending him shit?
oh shit, probably like 6 months, bro. You know, there wasn't really any other rapper I wanted to make art for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was pretty much just Sean Price. Like, so, yeah, like good 6 months, 2011. And then finally the Mike Tyson pieces started coming out. And I did a little retro action piece with the Mike Tyson Punch Out, where I replaced actual Mike Tyson, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I replaced Sean Price for Mike Tyson. And then he loved the shirt so much he had me get it printed. I sent it to Dallas Penn, and then it snowballed from there. You know,
Were you doing art? So 6 months before you sent it to like like, were you doing art before that? Because
I've been an artist all my life. Now,
okay,
digital art, no.
that's what I mean. Because digital art is like where a lot of your, you know, like the story of you doing Flag Out on what, like an iPhone 5 or something.
Yeah. But peep this, right? All the Shaw Price stuff that I was sending him, I was doing it on P.net.
Oh shit! Really?
You remember that bullshit, right? Yeah, it was hours sitting at P.net and just, you know, putting pieces together and sending it to him.
But you were doing art your whole life.
My whole life.
Painting, drawing, like
painting, drawing, graffiti, comic books, you name it. That's why the artwork that you see on my page isn't a one consistent style.
Yeah.
You know, you can actually, you know, from what I see and what I've been told from my peers as well, like you can feel that it's a set piece, you know what I'm saying, from certain,
totally.
you know, certain ways that it's put together, but it's never the same. Like I can't sit down and do the same thing for everybody every time, not even if it's the same artist. You know what I mean? Like, look how many covers I've done for Flea Lord, and the only consistent thing in there is a fucking three-eyed skull, you know?
Yeah,
like,
for real.
Everything else is just trying to switch the style up, you know? So
what is about the three-eyed shit? Like,
it's the, you know, marijuana and fucking mushrooms. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, is it like DMT, mushrooms, like?
Yeah, it's that type of shit. It's like, you know, I had this artistic theory. It can't be true or could be true. It doesn't fucking matter. It depends on who you are, right?
Yeah.
So my whole thing is that everybody's always talking about your third eye. Your mind is your third eye, and you know. So I always look at it like that third eye, that hole in the middle of your skull isn't revealed until you actually move on from this realm onto the next. So when you see all those skulls with the three eyes, you know, that's pretty much just people that have passed on or figures that have moved on to the next level. You know, they already realize what that new dimension is, and the third eye is wide open now. You know, but I try not to do it as much though, because I didn't want it to be the copyright of Sep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I didn't want it to come across like I was biting off of somebody else or shit like that. It's just something I literally have doodle books, like from when I was in high school with the skull, the three holes.
Do you partake in, like, have you ever done DMT?
Ayahuasca.
Yeah. So I have too, and like, you know, like it really does. They say that's the like that's what happens when you're born and when you die, and when you do it, you go to that dimension. And I really do like when I broke through, it was like it gave me a drive that I literally had never had before.
Right.
And so that's why I connected to your shit, and I was like, okay,
Right.
I want to. So did you have like a similar experience, or?
I can't honestly say no. My first experience with it, I went into it a little shook. So I didn't let my inhibitions go, you know, and just let it do what it's supposed to. It was kind of like controlled ride, you know. And then
How
the
old were you when
second,
you did it for the first time?
I must have been like 17.
Okay.
Yeah, 17. And then the third time I did it was when I actually I was probably like 23. And like I felt like I visited ancestors, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know, shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, for real.
it was quite the journey, bro. You know.
Did it change you? Like, was there like a pre that and post that?
I I would say yeah. Um, there's parts of my life journey that I don't, you know, speak on too much, but
Mm-hmm.
because of that, there was definitely a change in pretty much behavior overall. Like I kind of saw what was coming. And then when it actually happened, it was like, fuck, I saw this coming and I still ignored it. So it's like now let me change it. Let me change the course so that I don't become the statistic that I foresaw becoming with on this shit, you know? So
Yeah.
it's kind of trippy, bro. It's a head trip, bro.
No, I understand it, and we don't have to go, but I
Yeah,
understand exactly what you're talking about because I've been in a similar situation, and
right.
I don't know, it did give me drive, and I did listen to it, but also like okay, so you like I like to follow omens like so
Mm-hmm.
2011 you get the artwork and do you
Right.
keep doing it like up until when do you think you got like started getting recognition?
2014. Um, I got hit up by damn, I don't want to forget their names. It was a mixtape that involved Cooking Soul
Mm-hmm.
and the production duo Cooking Soul and YG, West Coast
Oh
YG.
yeah, DB, I
It
know
was kind of
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, DB the General.
that's the first project I ever saw your art of, like that and
Right,
I didn't even realize until going back.
right,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
They had hit me up and they were like, "Yo, you think you could do like the old Snoop Dogg covers?"
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm like, "Yo, that guy's still alive and shit." You know, like you just hit him up and shit. You know, and the dude was like, "Yeah, we know, but he's probably like." He's hard to reach and probably gonna charge an arm and a leg, and we need somebody that's art fluent, like
Mm-hmm.
that can actually try to mimic it. So I obliged. It was YG. It was my big, first experience, like putting something together for a rapper of that caliber.
Yeah.
And I put the mixtape cover together for them. So much so, I was such a novice that I didn't even know how to fucking center the image on Illustrator. I had just started learning how to use Illustrator, bro. Like, and then that project itself also, I had to transfer from the iPhone 5 to Illustrator so that I could do the dimensions and everything like they were requesting. Because
Damn.
everything that I was sending from the iPhone 5, like if you opened it as a PDF, the art will be like right here, and then it'll be all this space.
Oh,
You
because
know what
it's
I'm saying?
not
Like,
like yeah.
yeah. It's not sized properly. So it was some crazy shit. Dude sent it back to me like, what the fuck is this, bro? Like, I was like, my bad, B. I'm learning as I go right now. He's like, yo, are you kidding me right now? I'm like, true story.
Damn. What made
Yeah,
you
man.
switch over to doing it on like the iPhone if you were like painting your whole like
No, that's how I started. Yeah, that's how I started. So it was
yeah.
like, it wasn't like so much as a choice. It was just like what it was. You know, I had just moved to Georgia with my wife. Um, she was pregnant with our firstborn, like first couple of months, and I during that first trimester, I was just like bored, dude. Like, I had a job and all that shit, but I knew that there was more that I could do,
Yeah.
with what I had to give or offer and shit. And I realized that there was a void in the art market for underground rappers. Like everything looked like a pen and pixel retarded fucking mixtape cover,
For real. For real.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
there's no real art direction. And the inspiration that launched that was pretty much Jeff Jank over at Stone's Throw. And he's like the in-house over there at that label. So even if he didn't draw the cover, he oversaw what kind of cover was being put out through that label, on that label.
Yeah.
And I aspired to do that kind of thing. And then Frico came along. You know what I'm saying? I know you're familiar with his artwork.
Yeah, yeah.
And he landed his gig with Action Bronson, to do
He did
the
the Mr. Wonderful, yeah.
the Mr. Wonderful cover. And that was it.
Once artwork.
Yeah. I love all that shit, bro. Like he by far one of my favorite artists, just off the uniqueness of his style. It's just the comedic comic relief on it, and just it takes you places. So
Yeah, it does.
I appreciated that shit. But when the Mr. Wonderful album came out, that's when I was like, yeah, this is something I really want to do this.
When was the first time you heard Griselda?
I want to say around that same time. Vinny Paz on Twitter had posted up the Hitler video. I forgot the name of the song. I think it's Hitler's theme from Hitler Wears Hermes 1.
Well, the first,
yeah. So it had all like the military footage of like the Nazis and all that shit, and then just West Side rocking some shades and a hat, like in some type of fucking, I don't know what kind of criminal hallway he was in, but it just looked like some shit you don't want to walk through at night, And he's just spitting. He's not even looking at the camera. You know what I'm saying? He's just spitting. I'm sitting there like, yo, this shit is bugged out.
It's different. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, this dude, like Hitler was on his shit, So from there on, like I was hooked. I found the Hitler 1 mixtape, and then
Wait, so what year was that?
Fuck, I don't remember. I know it was right before
because Hitler 1's early.
Yeah, it was real early.
Because I got into them after Reject 2, like 2015. I heard Reject 2, and then I was like, okay.
By that time, that's when I want to get my timeline straight, because Reject 2 was actually what inspired the first art piece, which was the Conway face with the Captain Spaulding art paint.
One of my favorite I have.
Yeah, because I saw the cover, right? And the cover's sick, the bullet wound and all that wild shit, But
that's what made me listen to it. Just I saw that cover, and I was like, I know this is gonna be. I don't know why, but I just drew me in seeing that cover with the bullet wound and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So after seeing that, like, to me, I was like, yo, this shit is insane, But I had already I had met Wes already, and that was at the Sean Price Memorial.
Oh,
so yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
Did you know who he was? Like, did you know he was a rapper?
I knew.
Oh,
I knew
you knew
who he was. Yeah, I knew who he was. I knew who everybody in that fucking building was. Like, I'm a fan first. Like even of the unsigned, popular, not popular, I listen to it all, bro. Like, you'd be surprised the shit I play day in, day out, bro.
I'm the same way. It's funny. I didn't know, because like I had talked to AA, and he met Westside on a mega bus, and because he had a Confederate flag jacket on, and AA was like, "Who the fuck is this dude with face tats and a Confederate jacket on? I'm gonna talk to him." And they just talked about fashion for the whole time, and then he gave him his mixtape at the end. Like, that was so, like, It's that
Yeah.
wild. He's that's what inspires me in him is like just doing whatever, being himself, like doing whatever. So you
Yeah.
did. What were you saying?
Go ahead.
I was
No,
saying
go ahead.
you did the Conway face first. Like that was your first Griselda piece.
That was my first Griselda piece. Yeah. Yeah.
You've done the most like you really did start a movement in the like Griselda art.
I guess. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I know
guess.
if you didn't mean it, but like people do look up to you. Like I've talked to Squat Dead Face. I've talked to
that's
Camp,
my guy
I've
right
talked
there.
to real
Yeah.
such a great. I need him to come out here. He hasn't been to fucking the States in a long ass time.
Yeah, squad saluting the U.S. I don't know why. He probably got some Australian criminal record.
But you like so Conway, that was first. And did it get like
Right.
did he see it off the bat?
Yeah. He saw it on Instagram. I had tagged him, which is something I never really wanted to do. But it was like, this is for you, bro. Like this is what I took from the music. This is what the music made me feel like drawing, and I put that together and sent it to him. And then a little while later, that's when I met Westside. I'm hoping my timeline is right because I think that's how it went down.
Yeah.
Because
you met him
after
at the Sean P.
the first memorial. That's definitely where I met Westside, was at the Sean P. The first memorial there.
Was he familiar with your work at all, or did you just go up as a fan? Or
I went up as a fan. I showed him some stuff quick on the phone. He was like, "Yo, this shit is dope, man." Like, he just told me to hit him up, and I did. And he kept his word. Like, he wanted me to do some pieces, so I did some pieces, man. Came to me with the idea for the fly guard. He's like, got this picture. He's like, but I want your style, like that shit you do, and that's what I did.
So he came to you with the idea,
right?
Did he
Correct.
give you the album? Like, did you listen to it and then come? Or
nah, I heard the album with everybody else.
Damn.
Yeah,
so
I heard the album.
How long between him giving you the idea, you creating it, and the album dropping?
I remember I sent them the first draft of the cover in November of 2015. Man, the album didn't come out till March 2016.
Yeah, so that's one of those that you sat on for a while.
Yeah, it was a while, man. But there was missiles all through that, because while I was working on the artwork for that, he would send me I didn't hear the album in its entirety. I heard pieces of it, and the pieces that I heard became the singles. Like Mr. T.
Yeah.
20 in Zenith, 55 in Zenith, whatchamacallit. But then I started making artwork for the Dudley Boys, and then the joint with Bodies on Fairfax with Danny Brown, Gustavo. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you were doing pieces for each of the tracks.
Each of the tracks, yeah.
Have those been released? Like, have those been?
Yeah.
I've never seen. I'm gonna have to check those out.
Every time he dropped, when he dropped Bodies on Fairfax, he used my artwork for it. When he dropped the Dudley Boys, he used my artwork for it. And then when he dropped, I don't think he dropped Gustavo. I think Gustavo came out on the album, and then there was a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I remember it happening.
Were there any other artists working with Westside at that point? Were you the first? Like,
no.
You said there was like a
no. Not at all. You know what he was doing?
You can't be like, oh no, I didn't start shit, and then you say no so confidently.
Because I was there, But
yeah,
I can't say that I started a whole movement. that to me sounds like,
I understand. No, I get what you mean. I get
Jesus on walking on water type shit,
that fly god shit.
Yeah,
That fly god
shit. I'm not gonna take all that, but I was definitely like the only art dude there.
Did you
know what I'm saying?
notice that? Like, did you? The reason I asked about all the like DMT, the drug shit, is because I do want to, like, from a spiritual level, I come to it from like, I do feel spiritual in some ways. I know that sounds dumb in certain ways, but I do.
No, it doesn't.
Like,
no, it doesn't. It's an accurate thing.
Like, did you feel like when that was created? Like, did you feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing?
Yeah, because of the way it started falling together, and then out of nowhere, you have fucking legends that you grew up listening to, and your DMs like, yo, I need an album art. I need this, I need that. Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? And the teenager in me wants to scream from the excitement, but at the same time, as a grown ass man, you gotta look at it like, oh shit, this is happening, like, for real, dude. Like, so are we organizing to make it a career, or are we gonna put this as a part-time thing while we actually work for somebody else, And I made the decision to make it a career.
How soon after? Like, when did you decide to make it a career?
After 2018, I took a little hiatus to make sure that I had to get things right in my mind. Like, I didn't have my business correct. Nothing like a title, like a LLC or anything like that. Dudes were coming to me for covers, and I was taking whatever, they were throwing at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't valuing what I was bringing to the table, and take it. So to me, it wasn't like being taken seriously. So I had to take a fucking break, and reassess what it was that I was doing here.
How long did you take off?
A good year. Yeah.
Wow. Was it tough? Like,
that was hard, bro. It was hard because I'm the type of person that likes to keep creating once I start, But I had made a promise to myself that I'll first get things on the background right. Mm-hmm. And then once you get all of that correct, then present yourself as what you're going forward as, And that was probably one of the hardest decisions I made, because it put me in the back seat for a little while everything else was just, flying out.
How did you feel? How did you feel about that? Like, because you did start something. We can come to an agreement that you were the first, and then you take a break, and it does start to flourish. I mean, you see how many artists are now. I mean, it's countless. I mean, not countless. Yeah. There's probably
the only artist that I remember clearly and thoroughly in the mix like that was Nanlib. She was really like, and I, because I was in communications with her here and there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there were a couple other guys that were, shooting their shot and stuff like that, but none of like the Photoshop stuff, like the big religion pieces and shit like that. Yeah. Like, none of that shit was rocking yet. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite here, but I feel like, don't get scared now, open that door.
The religion
with the gangster, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Griselda's face, I do feel like most people would agree with that.
Right. I hope so. And I hope they don't think that I'm sitting here like,
no, but you took
this. Yeah.
No, but you
this
took
the motherfucker game things I
get. You start tearing art off your wall. You that Ram LV thing gets tear down.
Yeah, fuck your couch.
But what made you start back then? So you take a year off,
right? Well,
What
because
like gets
now,
you reinvigorated? What?
um, I'm gonna be honest with you, Big Ghost and Crime Apples are aguardiente.
Mm.
Yeah, I heard that album and like I don't know, man. Something in me was like, you can't fucking sit back and watch shit like this happen, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Sam, you bugging, bro. Like, you gotta step in there, bro. You gotta step in there. And um, coincidentally, that's the first artist that I got in contact with,
Big
and
Ghost or Crime Apple?
Crime Apple, and
I was like, you've talked to Big Ghost?
shouts to Big Ghost. But at that time, I didn't know how to communicate with Big Ghost or anything like that,
Yeah, yeah.
But
But you reached out to Crime Apple.
reached out to Crime Apple, and I told him that I had because he told me that he had a project coming out with DJ Skiz called Wet Dirt.
Yeah.
So
Great
I
project.
told him, yeah, I told him I had worked with Skiz before, you know what I'm saying? So then Skiz contacted me like, yo, Sep, what you just disappeared, bro. Like, so we put out Wet Dirt, and that was my
That was your
that was
first run back.
that was my comeback cover, yeah.
Were you making art for yourself during that time, or did you really take?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was fucking making incredible pieces that I wish I could show right now. You know what I mean? But it's like it was like X-Men in the Danger Room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rocky up the steps of the Philadelphia, you know what I mean? Like
Did you do any
that type of
rap
shit.
art during that time?
No,
That's when
nothing
you
like
took a
that.
break. Were you listening to rap at that time, or do you take a break from that?
Absolutely, absolutely. What I did take a break from though was the underground scene. So a lot of the shit that I came back to was like, who's this? That who's that? You know what I mean? So, but that was the first shit that I listened to was Aguardiente. And after that, like I missed Cocaine Beach. I missed all that shit. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
had worked with Huss already too for House of Huss part two, I think
Okay.
it was. You know, I forget all these fucking titles after a while, bro. So
No, I can't believe like you've created so many like fucking famous album art, like
right,
so recognizable, like damn.
right.
So you came back and you came back and you were like, this is gonna be real. I'm gonna create this as a business. I'm gonna
Yeah, yeah. I
do you
did
like
the Ceppington IG name as a joke.
was Ceppington always your name?
No, that's Evidence and Alchemist. They
Yeah.
dropped an album called Lord Steppington.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that
yeah.
project?
The
So
Step Brothers album, yeah.
right. So during that time, I picked up the name Sepp when I was living in Georgia.
What were you
I
going
picked up.
before that? Did you have any
Uh,
online presence or anything?
no, no, nothing, nothing.
You were creating
I
all that art just like
Yeah.
were you Big Ghost style? Were you like no one knows who I am?
nah, not like that.
Oh.
I was Seppin Y when I did I was Seppin Y Inc. when I did the Fly God stuff and the Conway face and all that stuff. Then I took a
Mm,
break. And then when I took a break, I wanted my moniker to represent me, and me alone. Because the Seppin Y thing was kind of like a loosely based partnership, you know, and it just didn't work out, and that was also part of the reason why I took a break. So I
mm.
had to figure things out in order to go solo and really focus on doing things on my own, you
Yeah.
know. So I did the Ceppington thing as a play off the Lord Steppington album, you know. But I made sure that everything from there was the brand September, because of my name Seb, and then my children were both born in September, and
Oh wow.
that's the ninth month of the year. So we go back to my days as a 5%er and, just born into life and bringing things back into existence and the energy that God gives after bringing life out and, all that crazy stuff.
That's your number?
No, my number is 11. My number is 11.
And so that's crazy. 7. 7's my number.
All right, peace, God, peace.
I got 3 7s in my birthday, and I didn't even realize that until I was like, oh, shit. I don't know. Yeah, 7's my number. Anyway, that's crazy that that's wild that you didn't have Ceppington before any of that. Like from flight, like that's wild that.
Nah. And that's what everybody knows me as now. So,
yeah,
it worked.
You created that. You've read The Alchemist?
Right.
You've read The Alchemist. Was that your like going through that break and you said like going solo? Was that your like battle? Was that your final battle before?
Yeah, that was definitely going back to where everything began. Realizing that what I was looking for was right where it began. So
yeah.
It kind of all fell together that way, and that's what happened. That's legit what happened.
When you took a break, did you realize? Because I feel like 2018 was the year that like the art really started. Did you realize what was happening?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Like I was what had piqued my interest was that people were sending friends of mine and people that I had done artwork for DMs and tagging them and shit like that, like where's Sepp? Has anybody seen what Sepp is doing? Does anybody understand that, this shit is a movement? You know what I mean? Like, we need this dude back and shit like that. And it was real. Like, it wasn't like no head gas shit. It was like random people from all over the world. We're talking about Europe, Japan, and it's just like, I'm looking at it like in amazement. Like, I really struck a chord with people from all walks of life all over the globe. And that's not something that you should take for granted,
Yeah.
And that's how I got serious and said, let me come back and see how far I could take this.
You said you were creating art your whole life. When you go back to your like farthest memories, is it wild where you are or does it make sense?
Nah, it's fucking wild. It's fucking wild. Anybody that knows me knows it's fucking wild, bro. Like,
yeah, good wild.
No, man. There's a lot of downs before these ups showed up. So I had a past life as a rapper.
Did you?
Know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What was
part of me. I'm Rule.
All right.
And I just kind of like I did that for a long time and then just stopped because I didn't want to be the guy in his 30s, in his 30s trying to pursue a rap career still, you know what I mean? And
is that's not funny to say, but like you created a movement with the rappers that showed that you could be in your 30s and start a rap career like that.
You see what I mean? It's fucking crazy, bro. It's just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
There's so many things that it's just like, and this is why I shut the fuck up a lot. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really see me too active here and there. I'll voice my thoughts on things and shit, but I try to be quiet because my story, I feel, is one that you're gonna have to pay attention to the details about later. Like it's a book thing or a doc thing, or you know what I mean. It's not so much a straight out of Compton movie experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it plays a long history connection to hip hop, back from when I was 14 all the way till now. You know, everything is thoroughly connected to hip hop.
What happened at
And
14?
that's when I was really passionate about hip hop. Was, you know, Wu-Tang and Redman and, you know,
My
Tribe
dad
Called
took me to
Quest.
see Wu-Tang Clan when I was 12 years old. Like, I understand. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you know, that shit changes your life, you
yeah,
know, at that kind of age. So it's like, which is why I don't knock the kids of this generation or any generation at that, because whatever it is that they're gravitating to, that was their Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? That's their Tribe Called Quest. So I can never knock that because I know what that feels like.
yeah.
You know, and I remember back in the days, people shitting on Nas and people shitting on, you know, uh, certain groups that didn't sound like Big Daddy Kane or Rakim and shit like that, like the OG. So that type of thing doesn't change either, you know?
Yeah.
But I try to make a conscious effort not to judge anybody about their musical taste and stuff like that, because everything's not for everybody and everybody has their own specific journeys and stuff like that. And mine started at 14 listening to underground shit like that, you know?
Mhm. I like all rap. Like, I really do.
Right.
I like the trappies. I like everything but emo. Like, I like,
Right.
and I do. Like,
Yeah.
Buffalo and Detroit are my two favorite cities in rap, I would say. And I don't even like
Okay.
Eminem. Like, I just love
Right.
Detroit shit, whether it be Sada Baby or the Flint stuff like Rio or
Mm.
YNJ. But I love, like, were you there for the Buffalo Kids opening?
No, I wasn't. I was not.
That was a wild experience. It was cool to see, like, I doubt there's many moments like that in rap history
Right. Right.
being there. And that is
It's the,
inspired by you. Did you want to go? Like, are you sad you I mean,
of course. Of
I know that's a
course.
stupid
Yeah.
question. That's a stupid
Yeah.
question. But, like,
Yeah.
have you seen it? Have you ever been there?
Nah, I've never been. But I have
Come
people
up from
sending.
August 28th. West Side Gun Day.
I should go. I should go. But a lot of people send me shit from there. You know, I get gifts sent to me all the time. People always sending me stuff that they want me to alter. You know,
Do you do clothing?
no, I don't do much.
Oh, they
I'm
want you
getting
to
it.
all.
Yeah, I'm getting into it soon. You know, my thing about merch is that I need somebody to trust to run that. You know,
Yeah.
while I stay creative. So that's the only caveat there. But yeah, I get stuff sent to me all the time from people buy from Buffalo Kids and like, yo, Sep, I got this shirt, fly guy shit, you know, like, you know, I got the multicolored fly guy shirt sent to me,
Oh shit, yeah.
you know, the
I mean, you
skate
deserve you.
decks,
Yeah, you have. It's
you know,
your art. You deserve the
yeah,
pieces.
yeah, you know, so
Do you have a
you know,
favorite one of your pieces? Like, do you have one that you look back at? I know you can't like pick children, but is there one that you're like?
my favorite piece of all time is right here.
That might be my favorite piece of yours of all time too.
Yeah,
Shout out Flea Lord, but that
yeah,
album is insane. I mean,
yeah.
Ghostface on that, when Rock Marcy came on in that the because he wasn't on the feature list when he came on that song, I was like, oh
Right.
shit, yeah, that album's
Yeah.
amazing. And that
Now
covers him.
I'm 100% forever grateful to Flea Lord for this opportunity because not only did it give me the chance to just spaz, you know, and make something magnificent for him, but I got to represent somebody that, well, two people that pretty much have a big stock in who I am artistically. You know, Ram LZ is one of the biggest artistic influences in a lot of people's lives. You know, anybody growing up in the 80s and 90s knows that. You know, you see the hype train with Jean-Michel Basquiat and stuff like that, you know, but
Yeah.
everybody knows like that kind of energy came from Ram LZ first, you know what I mean? So this was like mind blowing to even be asked to be a part of this project. And then
Had you talked
fucking
to him before that about like your inspiration in Ram LZ or? did he just come to you randomly saying, I have an
Nah, Flea Lord, but Flea Lord is somebody that's always on go, you know, and
yes, he is.
the conversations have to be quick and to the point, and
Mhm.
you know, I actually, funny story, right? Last week at the Rock Marcy show at Sony Hall
Yeah.
was the first time I met Flea Lord in person.
Oh, really?
Facts.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's
pretty.
you know,
That must have been a. I mean, like you created such a work. I mean, you created such a piece that
right.
I think that
Right.
might be a lot of people's favorite. That's you did spaz
Yeah.
on that art.
Yeah, that to me is like one of the most refreshing pieces I've ever got to I could just be me, you know, and there's
Yeah.
no restrictions. There's no please do it this color or please tweak it that way. You know what I mean? Like that one was really all, you know, and I fucking
Do people
love it.
do that, or do people give you like creative judgment?
A lot, for the most part, I get a lot of creative freedom. And if ever there was a change to be made, it's really minor.
Yeah.
It's never been nothing like it's like, if it was something where it's like, no, this is not working at all, then that was just it. We're not working at all. You know, it's
that
not
American cheese one is maybe one of my favorites too. I do love
really.
That. Yeah, I really love that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to revisit that art style every now and then. It's, you know, the vintage cartoony, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I like that kind of stuff. But yeah,
you were saying that you listen to like do you go back to underground? Like who do you like right now from like that's not known or that you want to do artwork with? There, I've been listening to Lord Jamonti a ton. He's so good. He's so fucking good. Jesus. And YL and Starker. Those are the two that I've been like.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't really been listening to nobody recently. Like,
yeah. What have you been doing?
Above ground. I've been above ground with the music, like a lot
what
of
have you
Pop
been
Smoke.
Listening to? Okay. Oh, Pop Smoke.
And shit like that. EST.
Oh, EST's so good. His new project is so good.
Yeah, he's pretty mean, bro.
I love Jack Harlow, and I know I get shit for saying that, but like there's like the way he did, like EST deserves all the shine, but he did help him out. Like it was cool that he helped him out because EST's fucking fire.
Yeah, I listened to.
Jack Harlow had a song with Sci-Hi the Prince. No one can give me shit for listening to him.
I don't know. I can't co-sign Jack Harlow. They might take my fucking badge, bro.
You're gonna have to change. They're gonna start changing Fly God as a different album cover now.
Yeah.
Nah, EST's.
I can honestly say, aside from the singles that are playing, I've never really heard Jack Harlow's.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
Like that.
He's one of those rappers that's like I love Wayne, but I hate Wayne's pop songs. Like I hate like How to Love.
Well, that's the attitude of the underground community. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
you just said you couldn't co-sign Jack Harlow.
I can't, but that's the underground community, bro. The underground community that just be like, you know, I remember back in the days, motherfuckers would be like, fuck Jay-Z. Jay-Z's whack. You know, he's like, and I used to look at dudes like, yo, y'all are bugged out. Like the backpack dudes.
Yeah.
Y'all are bugged the fuck out. What do you mean Jay-Z's whack? Like, you know? But, you know, it happens, man. It happens.
You have a favorite Wu-Tang member?
Ghostface.
That's cool. Was that the first time you got to do artwork? I mean, I know it was just a feature on the track, but was that the first time you got to work with him? Like do artwork for something he was involved in?
No. I actually done a couple of pieces that involved Ghostface. And one of them was actually for Swift and Changeable with Doom.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I have a couple of submissions for those. Like, you know,
Had you ever like did you ever work with Doom? Like,
yeah, I've gotten acknowledged by him. Never really the chance to collaborate closely, you
yeah,
know, or like all of us wish we have, you
yeah,
know.
of
But
course.
I've got acknowledged by him. I was lucky enough to land in the Frank 151 book that
Oh,
he
really?
curated. Yeah, I have a piece in there that he picked, you know, for that book, because all the pieces in there were curated by him and the team at Frank 151. So, you know, that was a highlight. And that happened during the 2014 era where I was doing the Cook and Soul art.
Oh shit. When you were
Yeah.
a rapper, when you were rapping, in the
Mhm.
back of your mind, was there ever I just want to be an artist? Was there
There was a little bit of that, yeah. When I was doing my own album covers. You know what I'm saying? Like
Did you enjoy that part of it like more like
way more. Way more, dude. Like
do you look
that
back at yourself mad that like you didn't pick it sooner or are you happy with the I know you said wild in a
nah.
bad way, but are you
Yeah,
like
yeah. Nah, the journey has been wild, but the outcome I will never change it. You know, and I never regret anything because I met the people that I've met and pretty much got the blessings that I've gotten now. And to go back and want to change things would mean to change things for the present and the future, you know? So
yeah.
now, dude, I'm content with how it's turned out. And I'm pretty excited for the future too, because there's a lot on the way
What
that
can you talk about that's on the way?
without NDAs crushing my spine,
Nothing.
not much.
Yeah.
Not much.
Do you
But
now that you did take the business side seriously, are you kind of like, oh, I don't like the business side of it as much, or do you have like, can
oh,
you
I'm
still
actually
focus on creativity?
no, I'm into it. I'm into it because it gives me a sense of responsibility, you know, as far as being able to put art um in a business uh light
Yeah,
per se, you know. The
getting
prints,
acknowledged from that side of the world, that like part.
right,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
you know, the prints are something that it's art that I developed on my own time, and I'm putting it up for sale, and people are looking at this and saying, yes, this is worth owning. This is something I really want to keep in my collection and, you know, put it amongst my cause pieces and my Ron English pieces. You know what I'm saying? Like people send me pictures all the time of shit like that. And it just blows my mind that it's like my art is worth to them as much as that type of stuff, you know? So
yeah. That's really
yeah,
cool. It's cool that you're
that,
like not humble about it, but like that you still have a drive for it. Like you took that break, and now
mhm.
you're coming back and you're like, this is it. You made your decision.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, you know, it was either that or forklift for the rest of my life. Who the fuck was to do
Hey,
that,
I
man?
mean, what? 99% of people make that choice, make the
Yeah,
forklift choice.
yeah,
And
yeah. And I've always been of the percentage that it's like, nah, I don't like this.
I
I don't like being told what to do. I don't like having to do this to survive. I want to be able to pick what it is I do to survive. You know, so
and it's
I'm
like
fortunate enough to land that way.
and you're a hard worker. Like you're a hard worker, and I think that's a big part of it too. Like
Right.
talent is like the ticket to play, and then it's can
Mm-hmm.
you outwork everybody and take it seriously. I
Right, right.
I don't know.
And that's the magical piece right there. It's
Yeah.
being able to work, bro, like work. Cause I got a lot of wins that I didn't even get to fucking enjoy. Cause it was like, what's next? And that's the
Every
life of
time there's a win, every time there's a
yeah,
win, it's like every time I'm at the I said every time I'm at the top of a hill, there's a mountain next to it. You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
Like
right. And you know, you gotta constantly excuse me, you gotta constantly outdo yourself. And that's the hard part about art. That, you know, that idea was dope on Wednesday, but Friday, you know what I'm saying, what you come with on Friday,
Yeah.
you know. And unfortunately, the unfortunate part for me that I find hilarious is that I'm put on a pedestal where I'm actually competing with fucking vinyl drops and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's people that are actually like, I don't know if I should buy this or I should wait for Seb's drop, like this type, you know, those type of choices. I promise. I got the DMs, you know what I'm saying? Like, people just like, yo, damn, I don't know if I
you're
should
in the like you're in the music game. Like you did like,
right, yeah.
You followed your shit.
And everything is just a visual. There's no audio to it, but the way people feel about it, they're passionate about what's going on. And I'm just so appreciative of it because, you know, they could be anywhere else in the world. They could have picked anybody else, you know what I mean? And they chose to pick me, so.
But that's because you know. That's because you know, and you have, like, when you know, I don't know how to describe it other than that. Like,
yeah, well, my boy tells me all the time, Shep, you have hip hop like in you. Yeah, you're like a fucking, you know, I'm an encyclopedia of songs and shit. And
yeah,
I could go word for word with Big Daddy Kane at the same time go word for word with M. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it that much. You know what I'm saying? That artistically, I try to understand how to speak the language through the image, right?
Yeah.
So,
and passion is a part of it. Like, I'm a comedian. I'm a comedian through and through, but I have a passion for rap. Like, I've loved it since I knew every word to The Predator by Ice Cube when I was 6 years old. Like, I've loved it forever. But I think that's why this podcast has gotten any type of listenership is because, like,
what's your favorite song off The Predator?
Wicked.
Come on, man.
You should know me for Wicked. When I was a kid.
That's the radio song, man.
That's not the. That was the radio song. It was a good day with the radio song.
Yeah, that was the radio song.
When I was
Wicked
a kid,
was the first single. That's what it was. Wicked
when I was
like
a young kid and I heard Wicked, I don't know why, but it's like when I heard Touch the Sky by Kanye. Like there's just certain songs from like when I was young, because I'm 24 years old. I'm young. Like there's just certain songs that like are part of my past. I don't know how to describe it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shook One's Part 2. Like, I know that's a popular song.
Well, being that you're in your early 20s and you fucking like you just mentioned Ice Cube's Predator, you're doing pretty good for yourself, bro. That's
why I love Griselda. Like when I heard Beloved, that was the first Griselda track I ever heard. Beloved off Reject 2 with Mac Homie and Benny the Butcher. I was like, this is what I needed. Like, this is different. And now, that was 2015. That's 6 years ago. When we fast forward here, like, I remember listening to Fly God for the first time, and now I'm talking to you. Like, honestly, it's weird how that shit happens. And this is a great conversation, but when you go back to that time, you don't realize what's going to happen.
Yeah, nah, you never know.
You never know.
And sometimes you have plans, and sometimes those plans get laughed at, and the universe shows you otherwise. You know.
Man, I really appreciate your time coming on because I'm really happy we got to do this, and hopefully we can meet in person sometime.
Yeah, sure, man. I feel the same, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
Do you want to?
Sorry it took this long, but
no problem at all. No problem at all. It's cool, and I'm happy you're coming out right after Lord NMF, and so I'm happy I got to, because he was speaking high praises of you too.
That's my dude, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, man.
Everyone speaks high praises of you, and I will too. Now that we got to talk, I'm really happy that we got to. Do you want to plug anything? I know people. I'll tag it below, but
just the website, September.art. And my IG, that's it. That's really, if you want to pay attention to what I'm doing, that's it right there. I keep it simple. I'm not too spread out. I have a few more album covers on the way that hopefully the masses would appreciate, and just September.art, man. Like that's pretty much it. That's my
Man.
bread and butter there.
I appreciate your time so much. It was great meeting you.
Thank you, Sam. Likewise, man.
All right. Peace.
Peace.